Hello all. The last couple of shamanic workshops that I've done has sparked interest in a lot of non-shamanic people, and they are wanting to look at what does it really stand for and what does it mean to be a shamanic practitioner. So today's conversation is going to be about practical shamanism in daily life. And let me just begin by a story. It's a famous story which is shared among Native Americans. And this is a story wherein animal people, yes, you heard it right, the animal people were very angry with human people. And they were on the brink of doing something devastating to the human people. That's when the stone people and the plant people intervened. And they told animal people not to take such a drastic step. To which the animal people said, look at what human people are doing. They don't respect us, they don't respect the earth. Look at the destruction they are causing by their presence. They just don't seem to learn. And we are very angry with them. The stone people and the plant people being the wisest in the world. Of course, because they are the ancient ones as well, right? They said, please don't be so harsh on them. They are new. They don't know how to operate. And we know when we are young, we are innocent and unaware. To which the benevolent, generous animal people said, all right, I think we understand what you mean here. And from that time on, the stone people, plant people, and animal people stayed back forever as a part of earth in order to guide the wisdom that they have gained over eons. And this is the basic of shamanic practice. It talks about aliveness in each and every being, thing, everything that you come across. And all of that is part of the same consciousness, and hence all of us are connected. If you look at the word shaman, it simply means the one who can see, even in the dark. Shamans operate as the base of the pyramid. So they are not really top up there leading, a luxurious life. They may be actually, but they are here at the base of the pyramid when it comes to making the contribution to the world. So a shaman is an open channel to the infinite, and they work for the community. They may be following any profession from a corporate world to running a salon, and at the same time they would be doing their healing. They would be connecting people back to themselves. It's a heart centric practice, and this particular practice helps us to come back to ourselves. So if I were to just ask you to close your eyes and just follow me along on this, there's nothing that you have to lose here. Just close your eyes and become aware of all the surrounds, the surround sounds, making way into your own heart, feeling the pulse, moving your awareness to how your heart is beating naturally, involuntarily. As you become aware of your heart center, also become aware of the heart center of Mother Earth, the core of Mother Earth. And align yourself with it. Just feel that there is a connection between your heart and the heart of Mother Earth. As you just get yourself centered, I want you to ask yourself, where do I lose energy? And allow your heart space to come up with places, people, activities where you just lose your energy. And of course, leave a command to your unconscious that when you come back from this meditation, you would remember all of this. So for now, just pay attention. As you get a response from yourself on that question, let's move on to the next one. Where do I gain energy? Look at parts of the day, days of the month, people, situations, interactions, gadgets, social media, or by yourself, in nature, at home, in your little sanctuary, which is your favorite place in your house. Getting a sense of where do I gain energy. Moving now your attention to what do you currently do with the energy that you have? And before we figure out a better utilization of the energy, let's look at what needs to die. We know that death is an exit point, and each and every exit point is also the point of creation. So ask yourself, what needs to die? After you become aware of this, now let's go back to what and how can I utilize my energy to the fullest? What should I do with the energy that I gain? You may want to thank yourself here and your grounded center for giving you answers to all these questions that you asked. And as we near completion, focus your attention on your heart center. Imagine a bright flame that's part of your heart center. Feed it with love. Just keep pouring love into it, and simultaneously also keep pouring love into the center of the Mother Earth, the heart of Mother Earth. As you keep feeding your heart and the heart of Mother Earth with love, notice how this flame intensifies. This is a sacred place inside of you which you can return to, visit, or be a part of at all times. With this intensified flame, return your awareness to your body, becoming aware of the surround sounds. You can come back and open your eyes. It feels great to find an anchor point, doesn't it? You can do this meditation as often as you want, even if you want to do it every day. Feel free to do that. Okay, so let's come back. The heart of a shamanic practice is the heart of a shaman. If you ever listen to any shaman across the globe, you would see that it all emanates with a sense of humility and love coming out of their heart. And one of the reasons why that happens is because they realize the illusionary world. Well, let me say it like that. They just don't even realize the illusionary world that you and I live in. They also experience it as an illusion. Another thing is that they're deeply connected with their roots. Ancestors play a huge role in their society till date. In the modern world, where grandparents, great grandparents, and the previous generations are easily forgotten, they remember their roots very well. And little sacred ceremonies are set up in honor of the ancestors. So, one of the ways that you can have the blessings and abundance flowing in is by connecting to the ancestors. Whosoever is alive, pay respect to them, love them. I've had the good fortune of having my grandparents around for a long period of time with me, and I can definitely tell you it's a blessing. When you grow up, rather, I would say when you're growing up in the teenage and the young adulthood, it may not be the best thing because they would say stuff and you would rebel. I used to do that. But as you progress, as I aged, I realized they are such a blessing. And I've been so fortunate to have them for a long period of time in my life. Similarly, if you have your grandparents alive, please spend time with them. Ask them about their roots, about their origin, about their parents and grandparents. And that's how we become aware of our lineage. Another thing is co-creation. Knowing that all that we require for co-creation is life force, which all of us have. Yes, it does kind of go down a little when people have any kind of sadness or the bouts of depression when they set in. It becomes difficult for people to have that life force. And that is why co-creation becomes a problem. So if we are able to up that level of life force within us, we can create whatever we want. We just need two things. One is the intent. Yes, intention has a lot of energy. If you intend anything, it is bound to come true. I have seen that so many times in my life. Whenever I've just intended something with purity, not thinking about the whys and the hows, I would just say something or intend something in my heart and it would come true. And I'm sure you have a lot of examples from your life as well. And working with your breath. Yes. As you pay more and more attention to your breath and the intention that you have set out, along with the life force, it makes you a co-creator in your destiny. And well, of course, the word destiny is also faltered in a way because there is no destined path then. As the shamans call it, they call it the Factless Path, which really means, what it means is that yes, there is a path, but we don't really know what the steps are. And perhaps we don't even have the idea of where it leads. All of life does not really have a destination. That's why the present becomes really important. And we'll talk about that in a while. Another thing that you can do in order to be aware and practice shamanism in daily life is becoming aware of the nature. Yeah, it's cliche to say that become aware of the plants, spend time in open spaces. Of course, grounding is the bedrock of all practices. And if you leave in the comment section below that you're looking for something in grounding, I will also send you an audio that I have made, which is great for grounding indoors and outdoors both. But this nature that I'm talking about is inner nature. How aware are you of yourself or what you're feeling? And it's about, as we check on the weather app, what is the weather today? Is it going to rain? Is it going to be sunny? Similarly, it's a good idea to just tap in and look at the weather inside. What's the weather inside? How am I feeling today? If there is an emotion that's popping up, a good question to ask is it mine? Does it really belong to me? And a second good question then to look at is, if it is mine, where is it coming from? Is it a result of the interaction that I'm having with this person right now? Or is it coming from my past? Just simple discernment of emotions and feelings can lead to a huge self-discovery. Also remembering the simple fact that feelings are just fleeting in nature. So they would automatically by themselves come and go. The next thing that shamans talk about is that of unlearning. They say that there is nothing to learn. We just have to unlearn all that we've picked up. And the wisdom lies in us. Our DNA carries the wisdom of our ancestors, and we know it all. The body is a really fantastic vehicle that we've been given, and it has information, I think, ever since humanity began. By the way, that's what they say is the origin of shamanism. It's not just a couple of thousands of years old, it's as old as human beings. So it started as soon as human beings got created here on earth. A simple practice that would help you a lot and open up avenues for you is gardening. A little garden in the backyard, just looking after the plants that you have. It's just so beautiful to be in the presence of nature, pristine, pure, non-judgmental nature. Another thing that you can do is, and I've had people give me extreme reactions that just, what are you talking about? We can't really do that. But you can, you see, is when you go for a garden, for a walk in the garden, or you just go to a park, when you look at the trees around, just look at a tree that calls out to you. Believe you me, it happens. I didn't think of it as true until I did that years ago. When you get to a garden, there is a tree that calls out, that attracts you. Go to that tree and give it a nice, good hug. It has the potential to take all your pains away. And just say to the tree, I love you. If you can't do that because you think people are going to judge you, just sit, taking the rest, support of the tree. Just sit back. Try to become one with it. Say, I love you. And ask it, how can I bring balance and beauty to the world and allow it to guide you? You can also ask it, what is the best I can manifest today? You could also ask, how do I conduct myself? So you could actually have a series of questions that you want to ask that tree. And this brings us to the next point, which is about being in service. And here, before you be in service for others, which is what is generally propagated, be in service for yourself. Look at what you require. Is there a self-care, self-love regime that you need to set up? Are there WhatsApp groups that you need to exit at the moment? Is there any kind of shielding, protecting, and building your personal space and energy that is required to be done? What do you need to do to be in service of yourself? And one of the ways in which you can service yourself is just be a hunter of awareness. Be so sharp and focused that you know where your mind is slipping, and you also have the potential to bring it out. And one of the ways that mind slips away is guilt, shame, embarrassment. And when any of those emotions show up, know that for sure that there is some bit of forgiveness that is required to be done, which you haven't done so far. Once you forgive yourself, these demons don't show up. Believe me on this one. Life is there to heal itself at all times. Shamans say that each moment is either a healing moment or a moment of darkness. So when you allow life to heal it, it would naturally and automatically integrate the fragmented parts of you back to you. If we are fragmented, that leads to a lot of interpretations, a lot of judgments and opinions about ourselves and people around us. But when we get integrated, all of that just stops. So it's how those fragments of the unhealed past that need to be integrated in order to be brought to the present, so that this present can lean onto a beautiful future that can be created in the now. And hence, there is never a need to shy away from darkness, because a moment of darkness can bring in a lot for the individual. In that sense, it's a great idea for us just to love darkness. The moment we bring ourselves to darkness completely, it transmutes. Shamanic practices include showing up just the way you are, just the way things are, with pain and suffering. They say that all our childhood traumas and wounds are actually our childhood heroes. And if you think about it, isn't that true? Whosoever we are, whatsoever we've done so far, is because of the way we've been brought up. And if our childhood, if the parenting way of the adults give us some wounds, they have also helped us reach the point that we are today. So this journey until this moment would not have been possible without the traumas. But now it's the time to let them go. So as soon as you become aware of these traumas, there is no need to hold anybody responsible for it. Let them just show up as they are. And the moment you allow them to be, this moment of darkness becomes a moment of healing. So thank all your childhood wounds. Thank the traumas that came around. They gave you the awareness. They woke you up to the wisdom that you always had inside. In a way, they've showed up as opportunities for all of us to return back home, which is our heart center, the anchor point. As I complete this, the last bit that I want to mention is that of divination. Divination is a powerful shamanic tool that we use in order to get information and be guided. And the way it really happens is to begin with, if you take any object from the nature, whether it's a feather or a stone or a leaf or a bark of a tree, and just look at it and ask it, what do you want me to know today? And just allow the first words or an image to pop up in your mind. You will have the answer. Try it out. It really helps. Okay, so as I complete this bit here today, let me just do a quick recall of what I said. I spoke about an anchor point, the ground center. We started with the heart flame. By the way, lavender is a great grounding oil or flowers if you can source them and keep them near you. They are really good. We went on to the meditation, which spoke about losing and gaining energy. Who is a shaman? The heart-centric way of operating of the shamans. How can we co-create? And looking at the inner nature is more important than the weather outside. It's all a process of just unlearning. Staying centered to the heart. Engage yourself in gardening. Go hug a tree, sit by it and ask for guidance. Forgive yourself. Let the fragmented parts of you be integrated back into you so that you can co-create a life that you want. And show up with your pain and suffering. Remember, each moment is either a healing moment or a moment of darkness. And a moment of darkness has made us who we are today. So all our wounds, traumas, injuries to the mind and to the emotional being has indeed been a blessing. They are our real heroes. So accept them, love them, bring your presence to it. And hold on to an object from the nature. Ask for guidance. What do I need to know today? Explore, enjoy, and I would love to hear from you in the comment box of which of the practices out of the following did you pick up and then what happened. Thank you. Signing off for now. Bye.